For months, Germany has been transferring illegal migrants from Africa and the Middle East to Poland. Germany cites the Dublin regulation, arguing that all of them arrived in Germany from Poland. However, evidence for this is lacking. The Polish government has remained passive about the whole affair, forcing citizens to take matters into their own hands. This prompted a reaction from Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who announced that he would discuss the issue with the German Chancellor, while at the same time threatening the border defence movement. When the state fails to act, citizens organise themselves and do what they can to stop illegal migration from Germany.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
Prime Minister Donald Tusk recognises that the issue is very important to the public. As such, he promised to talk to German Chancellor Merz and that there would be peace on the border. Each such case will be investigated, and as a result, no one will be allowed in from the German side whose papers or, well, the reason for which they would be transferred to the Polish side is questionable. Unfortunately, this exact line is already familiar to the public. Prime Minister Tusk wrote practically the same thing over a year ago regarding other cases of German authorities dumping illegal migrants in Poland. I will be talking to Chancellor Scholz shortly about the unacceptable incident involving the German police and a migrant family on our side of the border. This matter must be clarified in detail. After the Prime Minister's alleged conversation with the Chancellor, the transferring of illegal migrants from Germany into Poland has only accelerated. Despite this, Tusk tries to show himself as a tough leader, willing to tell the Germans no. I told the Germans, we will not accept any migrants from you. Assuming that Prime Minister Tusk told the truth, even in the best-case scenario, he failed to make the kind of impression needed to convince the German side. More and more documents that belong to these illegal migrants are coming to light. Based on these documents, we are able to learn about the modus operandi of the German services. You were subjected to a check upon entering the Federal Republic of Germany. During the check, you did not present a valid entry document. Therefore, there were grounds for immediate suspicion of illegal entry and residence in Germany. From an administrative law perspective, your entry is considered incomplete. Your statements during the interview regarding your intention to enter the country have been thoroughly reviewed. You did not provide any information that could justify legal entry, nor were there any grounds for protection within the meaning of asylum law. Therefore, based on Section 25 of the Border Control Act, pursuant to Section 14 SGK, you are denied entry into the territory of the Federal Republic of Germany. According to information obtained by investigative journalists, Poland's centres for illegal migrants are overcrowded, which is why these people are being crammed into various facilities throughout Poland. Such was the case with 2 migrants being housed in an orphanage in Skierniewice. Minister of Internal Affairs and Administration Tomasz Siemoniak has yet to confirm anything. There are 2 types of centres, guarded and open, and there are also migrants who require assistance from various charity and aid organisations. And this is what is happening. Prime Minister Tusk has announced radical measures, though not towards illegal migrants. They are to target activists from the border defence movement who have taken upon themselves the tasks of the border guard. I also expect precise information from the border guards and the police on how this problem can be eliminated. The state is responsible for border security, not gangs of far-right activists. Polish President Andrzej Duda, an ally of the current biggest opposition party in Poland, has come to the defence of the activists guarding the borders, criticising the government for its ineptitude in managing the crisis. I would like to thank all the citizens who are organising citizen guards and citizen patrols on the border to support the border guard in defending the border. It is a pity that the government is not responding to this, but I hope that they will eventually respond. We cannot allow the law to be broken. Recent incidents involving both migrants and border guards have caused outrage all across Poland. Criticism has been directed at border guard officers. It should be remembered that they joined the service to protect Poland's security, and it is not their fault that Poland is currently led by politicians who are failing to fulfill their duties. Whatever migration crisis awaits, ultimately the government, which directs the border guard, is responsible. Two weeks of unimaginable suffering. For over 14 days, 24-year-old Claudia Kay fought for her life after being brutally attacked and raped in Torun on the night of the 11th of June. She suffered extensive injuries to her head, neck and chest. The prosecutor's office announced her death last Friday. The perpetrator of the crime was a 19-year-old Venezuelan citizen residing illegally in Poland. Shortly after committing the crime, he was arrested by the police, and the court decided to remand him in custody for 3 months. The man was under the influence of alcohol. Today, in connection with this fact, the prosecutor ordered an autopsy of Claudia K's body, which will take place on July the 2nd this year. After obtaining the results of the autopsy, that is, in particular, the causes of Claudia K's death, the prosecutor will consider changing or supplementing the charges against Migrant RS. This disgusting crime committed against a Polish woman shocked the residents of Torun. Investigators secured the murder weapon. Officially, it was a knife. However, according to witnesses, before raping the victim, the migrant gouged out the woman's eyes with a screwdriver so that she could not recognize him. He ran up to the woman, stabbed her twice in the eyes with the screwdriver, gouged out her eyes, and the screwdriver reached her brain. The motive for the foreigner's actions is not yet known. Among the hypotheses are sexual motives. The man arrived in Spain on a tourist visa in February this year. From there, taking advantage of the lack of border controls in the Schengen area, he travelled to his mother, who was legally working in Torun. He himself was not employed anywhere. Let us recall that the perpetrator was staying in Poland illegally. His residence permit had expired, but no one was looking for him or checking on him because there is no service or administration in Poland responsible for immigrants, and there are no effective systems or procedures for controlling and removing those who are here illegally. Claudia K. was a graduate of English Studies at the Nicholas Copernicus University in Torun. She had recently been working on her doctorate. She earned extra money as a bartender in one of Torun's bars. Her life was brutally cut short by a man who had no right to be in Poland and whose past the Polish authorities knew nothing about. These are the first consequences of this policy, and I fear that there may be simply more such cases. Because if we find adults in an orphanage in Skierniewice, it means that we already have these people in central Poland, in the Łódź province, which means that we have a situation of real danger to our children. Yesterday, I received information that several people are terrorizing the area around Rawa Mazowiecka, and such consequences will continue to occur. Unlike in many Western European countries, for years women in Poland could feel safe, even after dark. The tragic crime in Torun may symbolize the end of this era. A few days ago, we reported on raging fires in Greece and Poland, and now they have appeared in Turkey. The flames are reaching tourist attractions, so visitors are also at risk. Heat-induced fires have broken out in 5 Turkish provinces. One of the areas is Antalya, a favorite destination for Polish tourists. The fire department is dealing with the fires, but the danger remains. It is a tragedy for the residents who often lose their possessions in a matter of moments. We are going through a terrible time. We have 40 years of memories here. Our children grew up here. I cannot bear to look at it. It hurts me so much. The roofs of the houses have collapsed, leaving only burnt walls and smoke rising from the smouldering remains of the fire. It's impossible to rebuild this place. What can be done here? Over 100 houses have burned down. What can the state do to help? I have no idea. The Turkish Ministry of Justice has announced that a suspect has been arrested for deliberately starting a fire in the province of Izmir, where 6 villages have already been evacuated. Our teams of experts will go to the area as soon as we receive information that the fires have been brought under control. The government will do everything possible to help those affected by the fires. In some villages, desperate homeowners are refusing to evacuate, helping firefighters or trying to extinguish the fires on their own. The fire has just reached the neighbours' houses down there. I don't know how it will spread. There are a lot of houses here. I thought the fire wouldn't cross the road, but it did. The wind is very strong. Wind gusts are hampering efforts to fight the raging fires in the western province of Izmir. In these conditions, the work of pilots is particularly dangerous. More than 1,000 firefighters, supported by 11 planes and 27 helicopters, are already fighting the fire. Due to strong winds and drought, the fire has gotten out of control and is spreading towards Menderes. Our teams are working only on the ground with wind gusts reaching 100 kilometers an hour, so our air units cannot help us at this time. Turkish media are also reporting fires in the provinces of Bursa, Antalya and Sakarya. The exact area affected by the fires is unknown, but flights at Izmir International Airport have been temporarily suspended because of smoke in the area.
The dramatic incident took place near Mount Canfield, a popular tourist destination near Kırdalen, about 420 kilometers east of Seattle.
We did lose a Coeur d'Alene firefighter, and we did lose a firefighter from the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. We have another firefighter that just came out of surgery from the Coeur d'Alene Police Department. I'm sorry, from the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department, right? Is that true? Okay. He just came out of surgery. He is fighting for his life, but he's in stable condition.
The attacker most likely started the fire himself to ambush the firefighters. The shooter's motive remains unknown.
Based on the preliminary information, we believe that is the only shooter that was on that mountain at that time. So there is no threat to the community at this time.
Over 300 law enforcement officers arrived at the scene of the shooting, including 2 helicopters with snipers on board. The attacker used a powerful sporting rifle. The firefighters were shot at almost immediately after arriving at the scene and did not know where the shots were coming from. The suspect's body was found thanks to information about the location of his cell phone. It has not yet been reported whether he was shot or if he took his own life.